Hey, hello. Hi. Good evening, all. This is Priyanka Pratas, and you're watching the Let's Update Language Academy FB page. And I'm here, as you know, is to speculate. Yes, we have exam the coming Saturday, and I'm here to start my speculation on OET speaking subtest. And definitely, we'll be talking about all the modules. So let's wait for the audience to come. So, like I thought, I'll be dealing with certain areas this time. Last time also, I was dealing a particular area, and this time also something different we would talk about, which would definitely help you for the speaking. Uh, and uh, I would like to announce certain things today. Like as you know, as you might have seen, we have started the crash course for the last, the final study from your side. So all those who have taken the examination, we have 10 days crash course before every examination. So already the coming days examination crash course has been finished, and students are really happy about it. And the next day, next exam, which is on February 19th, I think, is about to start, which will begin on 7th. The seats are very limited, even in offline as well as in online. The seats are just 15. So all the students who are interested can join. Okay. I think, let me check. All right. So tell me, can I have some hellos and highs from your side so that I can start with the speaking session? There is a small delay here, so I wouldn't be able to see at the very moment you sent your messages, but definitely I'll be replying to it. Okay, anyway, we'll start. So, what do you expect for this time's examination? Last time in the speculation, I was mainly focusing on the type of introduction, how to deal the introduction. And I think I've given you 5 types in one major type, and that was there for the examination. And most of the cards were actually the kind of introduction that we have discussed. So today, anyway, I wouldn't be discussing on that, but you can check that video definitely. Then you can go back and check the previous video. That would be really helpful, where we were focusing on the introduction part. So this time I planned to focus on certain keywords that you can usually see in the exams. Yes, we know that information gathering and information giving in a MITA, certain keywords that we often discuss. Apart from that, the common terms which indicates the feeling of the patient. So certain terms which can make you confused. Okay, so we'll be dealing today certain words like that. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's start. So, speaking test is the fourth examination in the OET speaking test. Sorry, OET test. First we'll start with the listening, then we have reading, then writing, and finally speaking. So it is always better you can be in the examination hall prior to the specified time in the confirmation mail. So please be on time, and there you can definitely you will feel very relaxed, and please be on time there. And after that, after the reaching there, you will be placed in your examination center, where in the appropriate seating setup. And then we start with the listening. And during the listening, it's a very strict atmosphere where you're not even allowed to go outside at any point of time. So please make sure that you're comfortable, and you're ready with all your things, and your audio is clear. So please make sure with all these things. And after that, once the listening starts, It ends after 40-45 minutes, and all of a sudden we'll start with the reading test. Again, in the reading first part, first 15 minutes is very crucial. That's very important also. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm actually not getting the messages. I think there's some problem in this can't see. I'm sorry for that. I think you're sending some messages to me, which is not displayed here, but definitely I hope my technical team will be helping me to get your messages. So anyway, coming back to the point, the first 15 minutes is very important, as I said, because again, there you don't get any kind of break in between. Once it is started, you have to be very focused because all you have is 15 minutes and you need to complete around 20 set of questions, and it's a crucial time. And after that, when you start with the part B, you're a bit more relaxed, right? Because relaxed reading in the part B starting. So for all the exam takers, the beginners especially, there is a very much chance to get panic in the first two parts. I mean, the listening as well as reading. So be very calm, and you have to be relaxed so much. Otherwise, there is a chance for getting panic in the initial part of the listening and initial part of reading. So once you finish these two, you'll understand the pattern of the examination and you feel very much relaxed. Okay. Anyway, and after the reading, it's a multiple choice, right? So two sections are there. Once you finish that, you'll get the writing test. The first 5 minutes, you're not allowed even to touch your pencil. So be very careful that you read the question carefully. And after that, you start writing the answer. Okay? Okay, let me see why I'm not able to see the message. Okay, yeah, I could see some of the message. Hello, hi Manju, hi Amrita, hi Shabli, and hi Siddhi, and Zia, hi. All right, so it's actually not very much evident. Okay, hi, yeah, I think I've got a few messages. Good evening, Steffi. Good evening, Shinsi. Hi, Shinsi, how are you? Ansu, good evening. And Anju, good evening. And yeah, I think I started getting some. Chiku, hi. And Tabasu, hi. Amrita, yes. I'll check on in between. It's not displayed here, but then I'll go and check. Okay. So then after this reading, listening, and writing comes to speaking. Maybe you might have the speaking test in the beginning in the list, or you might be the last one in the list. So anyway, you should be really calm and prepared. I always convey this to my students like this 20 minutes is all yours. So you have to be very confident and utilize the 20 minutes, be in your high spirits and enjoy the speaking test, the 20 minutes. Okay. So be very careful about your tone, your language. So if there is a chance that we may make mistakes or we may not, we may do it excellent or we may do it wonderfully, but that's not the point. You should have the confidence, and even though we make mistakes, your attitude should cover that. Okay, mistakes, it's human, that's natural, but that is not the point. How you're presenting it. If you're making your mistake evidence, means that you're not playing smart, isn't it? So no problem that there is a chance for getting mistakes, but your sound should be very powerful and confident. As I always say, in the speaking examination, you are not actually talking to the person in front of you. The person in front of you or the interlocutor is actually helping you because the presentation all goes to the examiner, where your audio is listened by the examiner and you have to play with your audio. So your audio should sound really smart. So when you sit in the candidate's chair, as I always say, that you should be a different person with a lot of energy and do your best. Okay, so that's an advice that or a suggestion that I would like to give to you. Do it as much as you can, as the interlocutor tells you. So when you start the speaking session, it's like they will give you an idea regarding the examination. The first 4 minutes, as you know, it's actually check, right? It's a audio check and also identification check. Okay, it's an identification check, so you can just look into that. And the initial part is like they will introduce the examination, introduce the examiner. Hello, my name is Priyanka Pradas, and this is occupational English test held in this place at this time, and interviewer's name is said, and also the candidate name is said again, and it is again checked with you by us by asking the same question to you. What is your name? And you are supposed to say your full name according to the passport. What is written in the passport, that is expected from your side. And also you have to say your candidate number, which will definitely be with you during the examination. Okay. And after that, you are supposed to say you're taking this test as a nurse or pharmacist or as a doctor, so whichever the profession is, they will confirm it with you. So make sure that your profession is said. Okay, and finally they'll ask your passport, and you need to give your passport, and they'll check. They'll make a final identification check. Okay. And they'll check your signature, the number, and also your photo, and then photograph that the passport is given to you back. Then they'll introduce an examination to you, like I'll be working with you for this test. Remember, this is actually a test of English, not your professional knowledge. Please speak naturally. So it is said to every candidate. If you're writing for the 6th time or 2nd time or 1st time, every time this is said. Okay. Remember, this is a test of English, not of your professional knowledge. So why it is repeated is because, why it is said is because, it's a very important point. So this is to make you understand that focus on your language than the information that is given in the card. Okay, and then warm-up questions are asked. Okay, I am sure that there are 7 warm-up questions. I'm sure you might have practiced everything. Okay, so 7 warm-up questions are namakkulladu, and I'm 100% sure you are ready with it. Hi Shamli, good evening Shamli. Anandu, hi. Chinsi, hi, good evening. Okay, so let's continue. 7 questions is there, so be prepared for that. The first, the most asked is like, how long have you been a nurse? Or it is said the recent training you have attended, or it can be, tell me about the usual day in your job workspace. Okay, usual day in your workspace, recent training, or what is the advice that you would like to give to the new person in your profession, or what are the qualities that a nurse or a doctor or a pharmacist should possess, or any other medical professional should possess. So these are the common questions that is asked in the warm-up session. And once the warm-up session is completed, we'll start, the interlocutor explains you regarding the cue card. They'll give you an idea regarding the role play card part. So the interlocutor will play the role of a patient or perhaps a carer, and the candidate has to play the professional role. And this is just to check the efficiency in language, and interlocutor asks you to perform to the maximum. Okay, perform to the best that you can. Diti, hi Neetu, and good evening Abil, Joseph Thomas, and Diti George, hi. Okay, so this is what is in the beginning of the speaking test. So this covers around 4 minutes. So students usually ask me, is it okay to ask questions if I am not sure about anything in the card? Okay, is it okay to ask questions to the interlocutor if I'm not sure about anything in the card? Okay, cardil എന്തെങ്കിലും doubt ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ interlocutorനോട് question ചോദിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും കുഴപ്പമുണ്ടോ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ചോദിക്കാറുണ്ട്. It's totally fine. That doesn't affect your mark, or it doesn't give you any kind of less marks, because that is permitted, that is said. Okay, and that is said during the 3 minutes. Kavita, hi Kavita. Okay, so all you remember is you only have 3 minutes, so you need to go through all the sentences in the card. So if you ask a question, the interlocutor will be busy with the interlocutor's cards, not your card. So if you ask a doubt to the interlocutor have to refer to your card. And if it is a medical doubt, then the person sitting in front of you most of the time will be a profession in language, not in your profession. So if it is something related with your medical field, better not to ask, because the person sitting in front of you, I don't think can answer, because the person will be good in English language, not in the profession that you possess. I mean, you are in. Okay? So doubt തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ചോദിക്കാം. പക്ഷേ better don't ask any medical doubts, because the person sitting in front of you, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ആൾ ഒരിക്കലും ഒരു മെഡിക്കൽ പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ആവില്ല. ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ആൾ എപ്പോഴും ഒരു ലാംഗ്വേജിൽ പ്രൊഫഷൻസി ഉള്ള ഒരാളായിരിക്കും, നോട്ട് എ മെഡിക്കൽ പ്രൊഫഷണൽ. സോ anything related, any English related doubts, definitely you can ask. But the thing is that make sure that you have enough time. നമുക്ക് അത്യാവശ്യം സമയമുണ്ടെന്ന് ഉറപ്പ് വരുത്തുക. കാരണം എന്താണ്, നമുക്ക് 3 minutes ആണ് ടൈം ഉള്ളത്. സോ വി നീഡ് the 3 minutes to refer everything in our card. And after that, the interlocutor will be busy referring their own card. Interlocutor card refer ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ തിരക്കായിരിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ when you ask a question, they have to shift from their card to the candidate's card, and they have to check for the meaning. So if you don't want to waste the time, better don't ask it. If that is you don't understand at all, then the last resort is the interlocutor. So definitely you can ask doubt, but make sure that you have enough time. So that is a suggestions that I can give to you. Hi Ramaprasad, how are you? Nijita, hi, how are you? Okay, so that's about the introduction part. And once you get the 3 minutes, prepare it well. As I always say, make sure that you you mark every keywords, understand the card very well, and start speaking about it. So this is the introduction part of the role play card. And once you are introduced to it, okay, once you are introduced to it, excuse me. Okay, so once you're introduced, and after finishing this 3 minutes, it's all about our presentation. So, if you can use the 3 minutes most effectively, then 5 minutes is not a big issue, okay? And as I said, I'll be focusing on the card, like the usual card, as you know, is immunization card. And definitely you can expect a card which is something related with skin disease, okay? It's a very common card, like something related with skin disease is often asked in the examination. And also immunization card is a very common card. And then mother, father or child. Mother, father and child. These conversations are very common in the examination. And also preoperative and postoperative is another common thing that you can expect. And removal and insertion is again another common thing, another common type of cards. And then something related with heart and community health center, giving advice to patient, like for a trip, motion sickness, trip advice. These are the often seen things in the examination. Smoking cessation. Again, one of my students today asked me, is there any card that we should expect regarding the obesity? That can come, but that's not a prominent card. So these are the common cards we can expect actually. So in these cards, what are the which are the area that we need to give more focus on? So I was just going through all the immunization cards today for my students to get reference, okay? So today we did chickenpox immunization card, and for the examination there were 2 chickenpox immunization cards already asked. So I'm not saying that you need to expect the chickenpox immunization card this time, but there is a chance of immunization card as such. But in this immunization card, what we can see is there'll be something tricky, okay? You can just check and see there is something tricky in the immunization card. I remember one card where the patient has come to take the, bacteria vaccination, some vaccination against a bacteria, some disease related with that. But then the doubt is like the patient has already had a flu vaccine last week. So the nurse is actually explaining the difference between the bacterial vaccination and the virus vaccination. So bacterial vaccination is enough only in between 3 years, once in 3 years. But when it comes to flu vaccine, it is necessary to take it every year. So what happened is when you see just vaccination, we do not understand that they are talking about two different vaccines. Okay, good evening, Prasad. Okay, they are not talking about two different vaccines. So we don't really distinctly understand the bacterial vaccination and virus vaccination. And when we start speaking, we get the questions from the interlocutor side regarding the difference, asking for the difference, and then we'll identify, oh, these are two different things that you need to expect. Okay, so this is a common scenario. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഇമ്മ്യൂണൈസേഷൻ കാർഡിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ട്രിക്കി ആയിട്ട് എപ്പോഴും നമ്മുടെ കാർഡ്സിൽ നമുക്ക് എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യാം അല്ലേ? ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ലാസ്റ്റ് ടൈം തന്നെ ഒരു കാർഡ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ബാക്ടീരിയൽ വാക്സിനേഷനെ പറ്റിയും വൈറസ് വാക്സിനേഷനെ പറ്റിയും. So bacterial and virus, these are technical terms that you get in your role play card. Patient might be very much unknown to any kind of such vaccination. So the normal question nammal patient in bhagathum expect cheyunnathu, last year I already had a vaccination and I take every 3 years, once in every 3 years. So isn't that enough? So it is a responsibility of the nurse to distinguish, nurse or any medical professional, to distinguish between the difference of these two. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ കാർഡിൽ അതിന്റെ ഡിഫറൻസ് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. ബട്ട് when you read the card, നമ്മൾ ഇതിന്റെ ഡിഫറൻസ് ആണെന്ന് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിൽ what happened? നമ്മുടെ പേഷ്യന്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആയിട്ട് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ചോദിക്കാൻ നേരത്ത് you find it very difficult. നമുക്കത് പെട്ടെന്ന് പറയാനായിട്ട് പറ്റില്ല. So please understand that there will be something tricky. And ഈ എന്താ പറയാ immunization, chicken pox immunization vaccination ആണെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ അതിനകത്ത് there was a question like the chicken pox virus is also causing some other disease. So will my child get that disease എന്നുള്ളൊരു question ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. So again in that case, it is like, no, that is only for the immunosuppressed category and your child is very healthy, and also that's very common in old age people. It's not for you, so there is very less chance for getting it for your child. So it's very safe to take this vaccine in the Barnatar. Okay, so when you read through the card, you are getting confused when you see a different name of a disease, why it is there. So you can only connect it when the patient talks about it. So immunization card, make sure that is there anything that is tricky inside. Okay, and yeah, and ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്ത ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷനിൽ അക്കാഡമിയിൽ ചെയ്ത ഒരു കാർഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് again chicken pox vaccine ആയിരുന്നു. It's another card where the child's parent is actually confused. He has come to just inquire about the reminder that he got from the clinic. And he really needs more information regarding this chickenpox vaccine. And the parent is actually saying that my child already, I think my child already had this vaccine, but he's not sure about it. And he's also not sure about whether my child is already affected by this chickenpox. So the nurse is actually trying to say, even if both the cases negative, if the child is not, child hasn't got any vaccine, or if the child is not exposed to the chickenpox virus, then in any case this vaccine is very important. So what happened, what I've seen in today's performance is like the students getting confused with the chickenpox vaccination and chickenpox disease. So what I'm trying to say is, in the immunization card, it's better that you need to try out all the immunization cards, exam immunization cards, and understand that it is a little tricky, and find out the tricks once you get it for the examination. Okay, let me check whether there's any suggestion or messages. Hi Rima, hi, how are you? And hi Srilakshmi, hi, how are you? Okay, so that's about the immunization. Then another thing that I would like to talk to you regarding the smoking cessation cards. So in most of the cards, there is a suggestion from the student side, I mean from the nurse's side. Nurse's side in എപ്പോഴുള്ളൊരു suggestion ആണ്, സോറി നഴ്സസ് സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് പേഷ്യൻ്റ് സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഒരു കാർഡ് ഈ ഒരു സ്മോക്കിംഗ് സെസേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വരുന്ന കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ്, the patient is trying to say that is it okay to use e-cigarette? Is it okay to use electronic cigarette? So this is a common question that we see in smoking cessation cards. But the fact is, in the most of the examination cards, they're not supporting it. Okay, nurse is not supporting it. But there are cards, the practicing cards with support. So in the examination, we have a tendency to support e-cigarettes, but usually in a smoking cessation cards, the nurse or any medical professional is not supporting the e-cigarettes, and they try to convince by saying e-cigarettes are not subsiding the cravings for smoking, so it is better to avoid it. So e-cigarettes are not subsiding the craving for smoking, so it is better to avoid e-cigarettes because that is not healthy. Okay, so craving is a one word which I would like to make you to the point. So this is a word which I have seen students mispronounced. It is cravings, not carving. Okay, it's cravings. All right, and another mispronounced word usually I see for the among the students is like severity. It's actually severity. Okay, it's not severity, it's severity. So it's a common word which you see in the examination role play card, but again we mispronounce it. Okay, so one more word which I would like to make into your notice, that is check. Okay, so I missed some message in between. Okay, I'll catch you up. Hi. Okay, hi Anju. Hi, how are you? Murugubi. Yeah, I think so. Hi. All right, so some of the another mispronounced word is like embarrassment. Okay, it's embarrassment. You can try it again and again. It's embarrassment. It's another word which I've seen that students are getting confusion when they pronounce it. What does it mean actually? What does embarrassment means? Can somebody comment it to me? And that embarrassment in the one it's an often seen feeling in the examination role play card. So I would like to get some idea from your side and that embarrassment in the one, because I'm not asking you questions because I am not able to see your messages properly, but right now I can. So please tell me, what do you mean by embarrassment? In that if I can get some comments from your side, that would be really great. Okay. Okay, anyway, this embarrassment is actually a feeling of really shy to open up, okay, so to the doctor or the nurse regarding the disease condition. So if a patient is actually really embarrassed, means it is your responsibility to make the patient comfortable. So when you see that this person is embarrassed, then you are supposed to say some words which is relieving or relaxing to the patient and to make him comfortable to open up and say all the problems, okay, all the problems to you. So that's very important. Not comfortable feeling. Okay, yes, Jay has commented it's not comfortable feeling. Yes, that is very true, Jay. It's a kind of shyness. It's a actually complex developed from inside, so it's very bad. It's not good for a person. So it's our responsibility as a medical professional to make them comfortable. So do not go without addressing that feeling. So in your conversation, when your patient say that the patient is feeling embarrassed, then do not go without addressing that problem. Our problem address cheyade നമ്മൾ മുന്നോട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു പോവരുത്. Okay, so how do you sound smart means addressing the feeling of the patient by addressing the appropriate feeling of the patient. So it's very important. So embarrassment has to be addressed, and you can definitely say nothing to be embarrassed, okay, because that is a very bad feeling that you do not have to carry it out. So you can definitely say nothing to be embarrassed. It's a very common condition for the people under this condition. It's a very common thing that the people under this condition have. So we are here, experts are here to manage your condition. So don't get embarrassed. You can definitely say. But at the same time, there are certain things that you cannot use nothing. For example, nothing to worry. That's not appropriate. You cannot say to a person that nothing to worry. There are certain, maybe the patient might be in a very much worry or maybe a little feeling very uncomfortable with the situation. So, and you going and telling them that nothing to worry is inappropriate. You can say it's nothing to be overly concerned about or nothing to worry more. That's right, but it's not very appropriate to say nothing to worry because they might be in a very difficult situation and we going and telling them it's no problem at all doesn't sound good. Okay, so please avoid the word nothing to worry. But at the same time, you can give them immense confidence by saying, I totally understand your position or I totally understand your feeling because I have been through this, so I totally understand. And also we can say, I totally can appreciate your feeling because if I were in your place, I would have reacted the same. So can you just distinguish between I totally understand and I totally can appreciate? ഇത് രണ്ടും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്ക്വിഷ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? Again, I expect some answers from your side. Okay, Sandeep is actually feeling shame is written. DT has written feeling shame. J has written it's not comfortable feeling. Then Sandeep is actually so annoying. Anju has shamed. Okay, it's all together. I think everything is correct. Okay, so again, I was actually telling you, asking you another question. What's wrong with nothing to worry? Okay, tell me. Can you really say that in your speaking? So this is the next question that I put forward. And I totally understand and I can appreciate. So tell me the difference between the two. So I think you're really engaging with the conversation. So I would like to know from your side. Okay. Okay, tell me the difference between I can totally understand and also I can totally appreciate. Okay, you can type it out, but then I'll be explaining it. I can totally understand means we also had such an experience. So from the experience, we are speaking that I can totally understand. For example, if you are also a mother and the person sitting in front of you is a mother and you both share the motherly instincts, then you can say, I totally understand. As a mother, you might be worried. I also had a similar experience. So, but it's you are in the safe hands. We have the professional support here. That is where we use I can totally understand. And the next is I can totally appreciate. Something that's different. There's a slight difference. That is, if I were in your place, you're trying to understand the feeling of a person. Okay, it's actually just a try from your side. I can totally appreciate is a different phrase. So I hope you can see the difference. Hi Gigi, how are you? Okay, so yes, so that's another difference that we can find in the way we express the feeling. So these words are so comforting, making the patient comfortable because we are also sharing the difficulty of the patient. That would be really relieving for a person. Okay, so that's one thing. And so I think I've gone through different words. The first one is embarrassment and severity. We talked about the two ways to make the patient relax. Another thing that I've seen in the cards is like trauma. Okay, I'll say it again. Trauma. Can you comment what is the meaning of trauma? Please tell me. Trauma. I would like to know from your side. What is the meaning of trauma? Please tell me. Okay, I'll wait for your comments and along with that, I'll explain it. Okay, so I would like to know what you mean by trauma. Okay, so I've asked the same questions many times to my students and there are still misconception that trauma is actually a wound. Is that correct? Is trauma a wound? അതൊരു woundനെ പറ്റിയാണ് നമ്മൾ trauma എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ പറയുന്നത്. Okay, I would like to have the comment from your side. Definitely, I know that some of you know what is trauma is multiple fracture, something hurting, shock, and injury. Okay, thank you for answering. You can keep on commenting. I would like to get the answers from your side. Because you might injury again. There is another word like injury. So most of you have told me that it's an injury. You might get the same word for the examination also. For writing also, you might see this word in the letter also. So you shouldn't misunderstand it. This trauma is actually a mental shock. It doesn't have any connection with a physical wound. Okay, so we actually connect it with a physical wound, but yes, some are correct. There is a small connection which I'll explain to you, but let me tell you, trauma is something, it's a mental feeling. It's a shock or distress, a feeling of distress, or it's a kind of feeling of shock. It doesn't have any connection with a physical wound. Okay, so please tell me. I hope it is clear to you, and I'll explain with examples. Okay, it's a wound. Sandeep Amrita, no, it's like wound. Okay, so it's like multiple fracture. Trauma is multiple fracture. It's injury. Actually, I would say you're half right. Why? Because trauma is a shock or a feeling which can be there out of injury or the multiple fracture. So you might be feeling traumatic due to this multiple fracture. Okay, so I hope it is clear. നമുക്ക് ട്രോമാറ്റിക് ഫീലിംഗ്, ആ ഒരു ഡിസ്ട്രെസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഷോക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒരു മെന്റൽ ഫീലിംഗ് ഉണ്ടാകും. വൈ? ബിക്കോസ് നമുക്ക് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഇഞ്ചുറി ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വൂണ്ട് ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോഴൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഈ ട്രോമാറ്റിക് ആയി പോകും അല്ലെ. വെൻ വി ആർ ഹെൽത്തി വി ആർ വെരി ഹാപ്പി ആൻഡ് വി ആർ നോട്ട് ഡിപ്രസ്ഡ് ഓർ ഡിസ്ട്രെസ്ഡ്. But when you're physically ill, you go into depression, you go into pain, you feel like that I am not good for anything. So അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള ഒരു traumatic experience ആണ് ഈ trauma എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So don't mistake it as a physical injury. It is a kind of feeling. So I hope it definitely help you to understand what is trauma and understand what you're feeling. Appreciate good thoughts of having. Okay, very good, Jay. Very good. It's an injury after an accident. Wound. Okay, understand, know what you're feeling, appreciate good thoughts of your has value. Okay, yeah, yes, Jay has got. Sandeep, actually, no, it's an injury after an accident. Sandeep, it's actually half right. You feel traumatic because you have got a lot of injury. നമുക്ക് ഇഞ്ചുറി ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾക്കൊരു traumatic feeling ഉണ്ടാവും. It's a kind of feeling. Okay, you can check it in the dictionary and you'll find it. So if somebody has taught you like it's an injury, then there is a small correction. True, you're half right. പകുതി correct ആണ്. നമ്മൾ traumatic ആയി പോകുന്നത് എപ്പോഴും എന്തെങ്കിലും physical injury ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ that would definitely affect you mentally. So if there is a card where the nurse or the doctor says that please take painkillers which will avoid you from the great wound or the traumatic trauma. Okay, so it's like it will help you to avoid from the wound and also the traumatic experience. So if you are painless, meaning we feel little more energetic, we don't go into the traumatic experience. Okay, so please don't misunderstand with that. I hope it is clear. So see, there are a lot of words which we understand only the half meaning and we guess certain things, but understand this is an English examination, so you are expected to understand the right and full meaning of those words. And in English, the words change meaning with its situation, right? So again, as I said, these are words which you often see in the speaking role play cards. Okay, speaking role play cards il nammal മിക്കവാറും കാണുന്ന വാക്കുകളാണല്ലേ ഇത്. So these are the common words that you see, but still we have confusion in that. So it's been, you have to think about it. Then another phrase that we often see in the examination role play card is no cause for concern. Okay, no cause for concern. Tell me, what does this mean? Okay, so no cause for concern. That's the meaning in that. Please tell me. Please tell me, what is the meaning of no cause for concern? Both physical and mental trauma exist. Is that correct, ma'am? Yes, actually, yes. Traumatic experience is out of, the experience can be out of different ways. Different things can influence us for trauma. Okay, one of my students has told me that reading is a kind of traumatic experience for me. Okay, that means like she hates reading. Okay, so it's many things influences for the trauma, or it influence for you for the trauma. Okay, please understand that. It's not that physical trauma means something that is caused by some physical problems. Okay. And some life experience can make you traumatic, or some physical experience can make you traumatic. Yeah, you're right. That was a very good question, Kitty. Okay, so the next thing I have asked is no room for concern. Sorry, no cause for concern. So this is another phrase which I would like to ask to you. What is that? You can expect, you might have seen this most of the nothing to worry. Okay, very good. Lichi has told me that nothing to worry. Yes, that's true. And how you can say that the patient, when it's no cause for concern, means do not have to worry much. Okay, or there's you can paraphrase it and say there is no room for worry. Okay, there is no room for worry. That's another way to express that no cause of concern. Okay, no cause for concern. So yeah, I'll wait for more messages in that case. Okay, nothing to worry. Did you? Very good. Nothing to worry. That's true. Okay, so this is again another phrase that you see. Am I right? And the next thing is like next phrase that I would like to ask is one to one, one to one. What do you mean by that? One to one. Okay, usually we see it in the brackets, especially intensive care unit, and the brackets, especially medical staff, one to one. What do you mean by one to one? Is it they are talking about the ratio, right? So what is the ratio that they're trying to say? One to one. I would like to get the answers from your side because this looks very interesting. You're very engaging. So tell me, what do you mean by one to one? Okay, I always have to keep on refreshing your messages, otherwise I don't get your message. So next time I think I should solve this. Try something related to physical or mental shock. Yes, it's actually, yes, please, Varghese, that is true. It's a shock. Shock is actually a feeling. So this shock can be out of mental or physical. So a wound can make you a mental shock, and also this also some experience in life can make you a shock. So please understand, it's a mental feeling which can influenced by a lot of things. It can be physical or mental, but it's experienced mentally. So it is not actually wound. It's a feeling that we get out of a physical or mental stress. Okay? Yeah, I hope it is clear to you. Thank you that you come up with a very good explanation. Okay, so what is next? Nurse-patient ratio. Very good, Diti. It's two. It's nurse-patient ratio. So it's one-to-one care. And also, what is expected that 48 hours care, you will get 48 hours care. Okay, so how can we say in a different way? 48 hours care. How do we express the 48 hours care to a patient, especially in the intensive care unit? You'll get 48 hours care. How, in a better way, how can we express this? Okay, please tell me. Ratio amount 24 hours care. Yeah, that's true. 24 hours care. Yeah, very good. But I was actually talking about 48 hours care, so 2 days care. So, um, how in a different way, how can we say that? Please tell me. Yeah, I'm waiting for your comment and I'm getting good comments. Thank you so much. Round the clock here, very good. Round the clock here, very good, Teresa. So round the clock care, or you can say 24/7 care. Okay, 24/7 care. That's like just like 24 or 48 hours. You say 24/7 care. That means 24 hours, 7 days. The whole week it says, but it's a usual usage 24/7 care, or you can say round the clock care. Okay, that's a very good way. Okay, I appreciate that. Everyone is very good that you are prepared and you understand all the word meanings. So it's really good. Okay, then another one that I would like to tell you is resist. What do you mean by resist? Resist in a speaking card context. Okay, resist actually means തടയുക അല്ലേ തടയുക എന്നുള്ളതുണ്ട്. But how we expect it in a speaking card. Intensive care, yeah, very good, Ram Prasad. Intensive care is also right. So how can you say resist? Resist in a speaking card context. But a role play card context, what is the meaning of resist when it comes to the first, when it is in the first word? When it is the first word in a sentence, I'm sorry. When it is the first word in a sentence, especially in a speaking card context, what do you mean by resist? Sometimes resist means, resist or just to block. But in a speaking card context, like we sometimes do not have an answer for certain questions, so we have to resist, right? So you can say that I'm sorry, it is beyond my scope, or I'm not the right person to talk about it, or that's not a scope which I can cover. So I'm not in the position to give you an answer for that. So these are the words that you can say when you can say, see the word resist, okay? Which I think by now you might have understood. Okay, yeah, thank you. So, as I said, we can able to see a plenty of common vocabulary in OET speaking card as well as in writing cards. So you should be really prepared with this, okay? And you should have some synonyms as well as good idiomatic expressions, good sentence constructions. I'm sure that by now you might have trained well for all these, and this will definitely help for your examination also. So you can ask me if there is anything that you're not sure about. I can definitely help you with it. And so once again, I would like to, I'm sorry to say about that. Yes, I'm not the authorized person to tell you. Very good, very good. You've got the right answer with you. Okay, so in the examination, I would repeat certain things again, and then I'm planning to wind it up. I hope the words that we have discussed could give you a better idea regarding the OET speaking test. So I'll summarize what we've been discussing so far. And I recommend all my students or all the students who are preparing for tomorrow's examination, just go through the last time speculation video as well. Upon the speculation video, because I cannot include everything in one video. Last speculation video was especially about the introduction part. എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മളൊരു റോൾ പ്ലേ കാർഡിന്റെ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു. I can tell you there are just only 5 types of introduction for the examination, and if you can have an understanding regarding all these 5 types, നമ്മുടെ 3 minutes നമുക്ക് സമയം നന്നായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് യൂട്ടിലൈസ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റും. Okay, so I was talking about that 3 minutes preparation and also this introduction in the last speculation video, which I didn't want to include in this video. So those who are looking for like a final touch up, you can just go back to the last video and definitely that will help you. And also, even if you can go through the videos, that will definitely give you an idea regarding the cards that you need to expect for the examination. I think I have spoken about the lot of cards which is expected to come for the examination in the before exams as well. So that would be really helpful for you to just check it out, and which I haven't included. Today I was focusing more on the keywords, which I think most of you have engaged and participated, and I got very good answers from your side. And still they are not ready to accept certain words, but that's good. So make a final check with all the keywords and make sure that you're very clear with everything. This will definitely help you for your reading, listening, and speaking also. So I hope you'll have a very good exam this time too. And the questions, if you're prepared, be confident. And we'll definitely be back with the OET test review at 9 o'clock on Saturday. They will be discussing the whole class, and we'll see which were the keywords that you made useful in the examination. So, and also I'm really excited and thrilled to check whether my speculation worked there. So speculation is, as I always say, it's not just blind predictions which I make, but these are the sure things that you can expect for examination. But sometimes we forget to give importance to. So I come here and speak to you that these are the important area. Please take care of this, and definitely I think which helps you a lot. So revise it again and relax also, because you have a big day coming on the Saturday. I hope this was a useful examination, useful session for all of you. So can I have some message telling me bye? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Manju. So can I have more message? And so I'll wind up. Okay. So please tell me. Okay. So I'm getting started. Thank you, Diti. Thank you. Pray definitely I will, because this big day is always big for us also. When I say us, we have a team here looking forward for your examination, like Hari sir, Rahul sir, and me, and there's a lot of other trainers like Shamli ma'am, Lakshmi ma'am, a lot of trainers waiting for your examination, and they very sincerely talk about your experience. So it's like a big day for us also. We always wait to end the examination, and we always wanted to listen from you. How was the examination? That's a very exciting day for us. Every exam Saturday is very special, and definitely from the bottom of our heart, we pray for you, because we understand how much effort you put for this examination. എന്തോരം എഫേർട്ടാണ് ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി ഇടുന്നതെന്നൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഒത്തിരി മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഞങ്ങളുടെ പ്രാർത്ഥനയും സപ്പോർട്ടും ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങളോടുകൂടി എപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ട്. സോ don't worry, be very confident, because you have done your best, and now we'll see in the examination hall. Okay, thanks for your response. Good night. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Jesna. Thank you, ma'am. Useful session. Thank you, Rima. Thank you, Srisha. Thank you. Great job, Gigi. Thank you. Thank you, Adra. Thank you, Jisha. So thank you so much. I'm sorry to say that I'm not the right person to talk. Yeah, I think you were giving you the answer for the last exam. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is Priyanka Pradas saying bye-bye and good night. See you on Saturday.